Hi, welcome to the Purple Ladder. And today we on our journey again, and we had 1985, and we on Around the World in a Day. This is one of my favorite periods, Around the World in a Day, which I love. So many people who they didn't like this album, and a lot of people want to push back on Prince, and this was the perfect album to do it. He made a Sgt. Pepper type album, so that was the perfect pushback. But he made a great album, and this is when the revolution really was involved. In particular, Wendy and Lisa. Yes, I love it. So colorful, from the album cover to where Prince was at. And when I say at, this is his classic period. This is when I really delved deep into Prince's world of spirituality and his mentality, and just went on that journey. And I start understanding what Prince was all about. This is when I say the vibrations start to get higher on the level. I think the vibrations was a little bit lower back in the early day, thinking more of sex, more of just finding himself. I think he started to reach a higher path and a higher vibration. Prince chakras was on. So we're going to be looking at today, and we're going to be checking out or reviewing one of the songs from Around the World Today. One of the songs I absolutely love, Conditions of the Heart. Yeah, Conditions of the Heart, one of my all-time favorites. Conditions of the Heart is the third track on Prince's seventh album, Around the World in a Day, the second album to be credited to Prince and the Revolution. In 2002, a live solo piano version titled Conditions of the Heart Interlude was included as the ninth track on the second disc of Prince's first live album, One Night Alone, along with Adore and Do Me Baby from the same show. Basic track took place on October 9, 1984, of course at Sunset Sound in Hollywood, California. Prince flew to the West Coast to record while the Revolution continued rehearsals for the Purple Rain tour in Minneapolis. Oh man, that is one I would love to have been in, to see just how that came about. Studio version, Prince all vocals and instruments. One Night Alone live version, Prince piano. Okay. 6 minutes and 46 seconds, the length. As we know, the live version was only 39 seconds. Yeah, this is one of my all-time tracks. And we know what's in store. Prince in the album, and you think about the album and the song, the album cover and the song. And we're going to get to some of the verses of Conditions of the Heart. For lyrics. And we know he started out more, it was like a fairy tale. And he said there was a girl in Paris whom he sent the letter to, hoping she would answer back. Now wasn't that a fool? Hardy notion of the part of a sometimes lonely musician. So is he talking about himself? Acting all a whim is only good for a condition of the heart. So was that him? And talking about another girl, or I don't know. So I'm not going to say. So the second verse, there was a dame from London who he insisted that he loved her, then left him for a real prince from Arabia. Now, isn't that a shame that sometimes money buys you everything and nothing? Love is only seems to buy a terminal condition of the heart. Yeah, when we get to this part, thinking about you driving me crazy. My friends all say it's just a phase, but oh, every day is a yellow day. I'm blinded by the daisies in your yard. Yeah, that's the chorus. So we go to the third verse. My favorite verse. There was a woman from the ghetto who made funny faces just like Clara Bow, the famous silent screen legend. How was I to know that she would wear the same cologne as you and giggle the same giggle that you do? Whenever I would act the fool with a condition of the heart. So that line, and I'm just thinking off the top, but I've heard this a lot. Wendy was supposed to be playing Clara Bow in this album. So you look at Wendy and how she was dressed in the sky, even in the Raspberry Beret video, she looked like Clara Bow. So when you think about that cologne and that giggle and all that, we know, Wendy is gay, and that was to make reference of Wendy being Clara Bow. But I don't know what Clara Bow was. I know she was married at one. I did research, but I don't know if she was bisexual or just, I don't think she was gay, so maybe she was bisexual. But at the same time, I know this line, Prince always do this line, was really talking about Wendy, because they all had a character in his album. And as we know Prince was the blonde. Prince had the blonde hair. Prince dyed his hair blonde during the time. So, but he had a bad experience. So he ended up have to cut his hair or whatever. And I'm gonna get to that in another video. But yeah, we know these certain characters, as you see in the album, was based on the people, the musicians. So I know definitely Wendy was Clara Bow. So hey, my favorite line, man. I love it. That's why I love this song. Prince did a lot of distortion in his album. So a lot of people thought his voice was off or whatever. Prince distorted his voice. Prince was doing a lot of studio tricks. He was a wizard in the studio and productions, and which I love. Prince was always trying to find new ways to experiment with his voice. And as you know, in psychedelic music, they don't always do, but most songs is distorted. They doing, we know the Beatles and a lot of the people in the psychedelic era was distorting their voices. So we see one of the earliest songs with Strawberry Fields where you see John Lennon's voice was distorted, in that song later, in the later part of Strawberry Fields, which I love. So Prince was doing some of the same thing. That's just psychedelic music. And people of the newer generation, some maybe don't understand, but you have a lot of people that didn't understand at the time what was going on. So, but the people that's in the know, distortion is a part of a lot of people recording, when they recorded psychedelic music. But yeah, Condition of the Heart, that classic type of music that Prince was inspired by. John L. Nelson, his father, doing that. I don't know, I don't think his father got credit for it, but I'm pretty sure that it was inspired by John L. Nelson, or he helped out in his music, these songs, and this was probably one of them. But I love that piano break at the beginning. And the song starts later, like a minute or almost 2 minutes into the song. That's when he started doing his verse and started singing. Great song, great production, great classic type of feel, and great storytelling. I give it a 10 all day. So that's Condition of the Heart from